Hey guys, welcome back to LearnBC. You're here with Jared and we're in Master Data Management 101. This has been the series about getting your data into config packs, into Business Central while explaining what the data does, looking through the table and trying to unpack it a bit. This one, SOP-10, should be our last in the series. We may do a few more, and it's all about dimensions. Now, please take into consideration the context and the rules, what's the trigger, preconditions, and key principle, the procedure, and then the outcomes as we talk through what happens if it goes wrong and if it goes right. Now, we love your support, so please like, share, subscribe, and email us at how@learnbc.today if you've got any questions. We'd love to hear from you. Let's get started. Well, here we are, we're in Dimensions, Master Data. So the Dimensions Masters. And what we're going to cover is the global versus shortcut dimensions. We're going to talk through creating a dimension and then dimension values, default dimensions on the master data, and the value posting rules, so code mandatory, which we covered in the dimension setup. The trigger here is the organization restructures its reporting, e.g. adds a new department cost center. Project needs to tag transactions for financial analysis. The first thing you need to consider is, have you made a decision on the bronze data? Do you have the source of information? Your reporting structure is approved, so you know the destination. The rules are defined. It's clear which master data records, customers, items must have this dimension assigned as mandatory. And so the key principles to think about is reporting tags. Dimensions are a tag attached to ledger entries. When you post, you can have as many dimensions as you want. However, you only get 8 that show on the line on sales documents or purchase documents. Okay, you can have 100 dimensions if you wanted to. Go your hardest. I've had one client was using 25 or 30 as a hospital per every single transaction. So they allow you to slice and dice financial data. Global versus shortcut, okay, is all about the line. Global shows up, the two show up in all reports through the whole system, all filters. Whereas shortcut, add to the globals on the line. So if you're in a journal line, sales line, purchase line, sales quote, purchase quote, doesn't matter. It then, as you scroll right to the right, that's where all of your 8 dimension codes are going to show up. The 2 global plus the 6 shortcut dimensions. And value rules. You can enforce data quality by setting the rules like code mandatory or same code. Now, you do that on the master record. So if it's customer card, vendor, item, location, resource, bank, whatever, okay? You set it and it will be right. The warning here is global dimensions changes. Changing global dimensions is a massive system operation that updates every ledger entry. Never do this during business hours, okay? And set it when you build the system. Never change globals alone. So never attempt to change the global dimensions without consulting your partner. Always talk to your consulting partner. It requires careful planning and database locking. Your system's gonna freeze as you do it. If you got high trade, do it in the maintenance window. Never delete used values. So never delete a dimension value that has been used. Posted entries, use the blocked toggle to switch on the line, which turns around and locks that data set down. So the procedure looks like this. You search dimensions, click new, and enter the code. So this is the dimensions. We click dimensions in the tab, and in the menu, we click dimension values. And then we get to enter the values for them. So for example, as a department, then you've got administration for admin or sales or whatever, purchasing, procurement, warehouse. The structure values. So optional, use begin total and end total, and you can create a tree and indent your dimension values. So I've seen a really good one where it was area. And when you go into the area, it had every country, then every state, and then every region, and then every town. And it was huge. It was a massive, but it was a tree. But you could select Australia or select New Zealand, select Philippines, or you could go lower, which was pretty cool. All right, so default dimensions, you navigate to the master record, e.g. customer, click customer dimensions to open the default dimensions page, and set the posting rules. Excuse me. Set the posting rules to code mandatory or same code. Validate and save. And so if that really gets us to a data set, let's take a look in Business Central. Here in Business Central, I can get to dimensions by going finance dimensions or just searching the dimensions up. I've added a bunch here. The reason why I've done this is to give you a bit of context and a bit of a visibility to what you could do. For example, every customer, when we onboard them, we could add the area they're from. We could add the customer ID. We could add the industry the customer is coming from, their postcode, and it tells a story. When you use a salesperson purchaser, you could use the initiator or salesperson or purchaser. A resource or an employee would use their relative dimension. The location would use a location dimension, and so on. Vendor and so you got a lot here that you could use. But let's stick with, for example, industry, dimension values. As you can see here, I can see I've got two. I'm not using headings or begin total, end total, so it's pretty clean. And you've got that blocking here over on the right for your dimensions. So in setting your dimensions, and then, so this is referred to as a dimension, and as you go into it, you go into the dimension value, okay? From the value, you can then turn around and execute. The reality for us, okay, is we've got to go into a master record. So I'm going to go customers, I'm going to go 365 ERP into customer dimensions, and we're going to set, we've already set it here against the record. And if I was using a customer template, I'd go cust template. And in the template itself, I would set the dimension as code mandatory, which means that this is required. Otherwise, it will not allow you to post. It's going to force you to get this done to make sure that it is holding you to what you need. Now, the other thing that you do have is a few other related tables that I want to show you in the config packs. So let's go into the config packs. And in the configuration packages for dimensions, I've added dimensions, and as you do it, it adds one table, which is the dimension values. Sorry, the IC dimension. It doesn't even add dimension values, which kind of sucks. So because I know dimensions, I've gone in and selected the dimension value. I've gone combinations and default dimensions. What are they? So if we go into default dimension, you have default dimension priorities where you can say, hey, on this particular customer record, okay, the priority for this dimension record, which at the moment for the source code is sale, you have here, and you can set your priorities. So initialize dimension priorities. And what will happen here is on a sales transaction, the customer dimension overrides the item. Okay, so if you've got the same dimension on two different data sets, it's going to allow one to override the other. It's a pretty cool feature. The other one for you is referred to dimension combinations. And so dimension combinations is effectively stating that if I'm using area, okay, and I use asset, am I going to allow it or block it? And what it does is allows you to see or control that if I'm choosing an area, I won't use a postcode. You can block it, okay? And so this gives you a bit of quality control. There are some scenarios where you do not want the two dimensions to be selected. For example, an income ledger code and an expense ledger code. They should not be allowed to combine with each other. And that way it protects the system from tracking things as expense or as income for the dimensional values that are getting reported, etc. So this here, we've got ourselves our config pack. We hit export to Excel. I'm just going to hit yes and save. And here we have the Excel. Here's our config pack. You can see here my dimensions, which is effectively the category code, the code level, and then you've got to actually go into dimension values to see. And in the dimension values, this is where as you import this, you break it down by its dimension code. Then you give the value a code and a description. And you would effectively then just copy one of the lines down the whole pack. I would ignore the dimension ID and modified time. As for dimension combinations, this is just a record of the combinations that you can actually set. And you've got your dimension value combination. Behind this, you've also got default dimensions, which we've exported, and the intercompany dimensions, and they're all there within that particular config pack. As usual, as you step into your config pack, you just hit import and you work through the upload from the sub-serving tables to the parent record. Now, to wrap up this series, what are the exceptions? So missing or mandatory rule. If a dimension is created but is not set code mandatory on the GL. So that's one thing I didn't show you. Let's go back very quickly into the GL. I'm going to go finance, chart of accounts, and let's just go down income. Here's my income. It's quite a lot here. Let's just say it's our sales account domestic. In here, I should have gone into the account dimensions and set the industry code as code mandatory, and that's going to stop the record from finally posting and meeting that combination. So we may want to know the customer, we may want to know the area, and we just go code mandatory, and that locks that in. It gives us the controls that we're needing to ensure that we do not compromise our reporting capabilities. So the next thing for us is conflicting defaults. If a customer and an item both have the different values, you use your the same dimension. You configure dimension priorities to resolve this, and we just talked through that. The third is blocked values. If a user tries to post to an old department, the system will throw an error if that dimension has been blocked. What gold looks like: the code and name are finalized, the dimension values are created and structured, the default dimensions are assigned to master records, and the value posting rules are enforced. This means you're in a gold position and you should be good with dimensions. My caveat here that I would say is this: beautiful flowing systems means that you have set up your items, your customers, and your vendors with the data correctly as you start. Otherwise, when you go to the sales document, it flows in. And if you try to act on that sales document and you have missing data, it's going to throw errors and cause problems. So I like to architect a system where we never have that go wrong. There's an extension from Build Dynamics called Dimensions, Simple. I think it's called Simple Dimensions. And what it does is it turns around and enforces when you add a new customer, it creates the customer dimension. And when we add a vendor and when we add an item and postcodes and so on. So there's a whole heap of setup that simplifies there, that no user ever hears about dimensions, but they're automated and they're always there. They never come out missing. So from a serious perspective, I want to thank you. All right, we may do more data config packs and videos and add it into this series, but please follow the channel, like, subscribe, comment, and email us at how@learnbc.today if you've got any questions. Would love to work with you. Thank you.